Why violence in schools is a problem. What is school violence? School violence is any activity that can create a disturbance in an educational setting or system. School violence is not always school shootings. Why is school violence a problem? When children experience or witness trauma, their basic beliefs about their life and other people end up changing. These children tend to stop believing that the world is safe. That can be damaging towards their mental health. What could happen if we didn't mitigate school violence? School violence would end up getting out of control. People might stop coming to school. They may panic and let fear take over. Why is violence in school so hard to control? Violence in school is extremely difficult to control because teachers have very few tools to stop it beyond just persuasion. Just like we can't stop other people's behaviors, they can't either. School violence statistics. 67% of schools recorded at least one violent incident in 2021 to 2022. About 857,500 violent incidents were recorded in 2021 to 2022. What is the main cause of school violence? Most educators agree that school violence is like a layered cake. It can arise from access to weapons, cyber abuse, family environments, or others. What are some ways to prevent school violence? Talk to your children about it. Develop emergency plans. Educate your students about school violence. Create school security. Give them access for support. Discuss safety issues openly and honestly. Recognize the warning signs. Why school violence has escalated. There are two main factors. Lack of or inadequate alternative placements or programs for the disruptive students. And then the other one is inadequate funding for these. Why people are afraid of school violence. School violence is scary. The thought that something might happen to your child or to yourself is terrifying. There are way too many school threats. People just want to end up being safe. The forms of school violence. School violence can be shown in bullying, cyberbullying, fighting, as in punching, slapping, or kicking, weapon use, school shootings, sexual violence, and gang violence. How the internet contributes to school violence. Students are at risk of online threats like sextortion, which is already a problem, and cyberbullying. These kinds of things can negatively impact the whole school community. How bullying contributes to school violence. School violence can be an expression of frustration or anger due to problems at home or at school. Some bullying can cause other bullying and other acts of violence in schools. How access to weapons contributes to school violence. Kids and adults are more likely to do something if there isn't a hassle in getting the supplies. So if someone is having violent thoughts and they have a gun, they're more likely to act on those violent thoughts. How access to drugs contributes to school violence. School violence has been monitored moving with the availability of drugs. People may fight over the drugs. Some people may want to tell on the dealers. That could end up leading to violence. How family dynamics can contribute to school violence. Violence within your family structure rocks your view of reality and safety, permanently telling your brain that it is unsafe. This can cause people to try and find stability, even if it means hurting others. What happens when nobody sees the signs that a person is about to commit an act of school violence? If nobody sees the signs until it's too late, multiple things could happen. The act of violence could end up being committed. Someone could get seriously hurt. You could get hurt. They could end up hurting themselves or worse, or more. How families can be affected by school violence. Families can be affected in multiple different ways. The loss of someone they love, like their sibling or their child, that can lead to depression or other mental health illnesses or more. Why school shootings are worrisome even though they are rare. 12 children die each day in America due to gun violence. School shootings are happening at an alarming rate in America, unlike the other schools in different countries. Why people commit acts of school violence. Children copy what they see other people doing. They're super impressionable. If they see people being violent, they'll think it's okay, and then they'll end up copying those violent actions. This is a breeding ground for early bullies. Safety measures to prevent school violence. Metal detectors in your schools. Secure firearms in your homes. Control access to weapons. Recognize warning signs. Training programs. Educate your students on violence and prevention preparedness.